Hi everyone, my name is Claudia Hyman and I am the PPAGS Programming Chair. So today I wanted to break down a question that a lot of people have when they're thinking about psychology careers and grad school, which is what is the difference between a PsyD and a PhD in psychology? They sound similar, but they are designed for fairly different paths and clinical interests and also have a lot of overlaps. They can be confusing at first. A PhD in psychology is traditionally the more research-focused route. Think of it as training you to be both a scientist and a practitioner. You'll spend a lot of time doing research, running studies, publishing papers, and learning how to contribute new knowledge to the field. That doesn't mean that you can't do therapy. PhD psychologists often do clinical work too, but research is definitely a big part of the program. PhDs often prepare an individual for academic or research-heavy careers. When you're looking at a PhD program, though, they vary in how much they focus on research or clinical work. So that's going to be something that you're really going to want to pay attention to so that you can apply to sites that make the most sense for you. So some sites might be a 50-50 split between clinical work and research, while others might be predominantly research and a little bit of clinical work. Additionally, PhDs are typically fully funded, meaning that there's no tuition. Again, this might vary a bit throughout depending on the program, but typically fully funded. And because of this, research and teaching assistant jobs are often an expectation when you're in the program. The PsyD, or Doctor of Psychology, is more focused on practice. This means that the training leans heavily towards clinical skills, so therapy, assessment, working directly with clients. You still learn about research, but the focus is more about being able to understand and apply it clinically, instead of necessarily producing large amounts of research studies during your training. However, this is not to suggest that you don't produce any research during a PsyD. Students will do a dissertation, same as PhD programs, and often will conduct and publish research throughout their training. This just might be less frequent as someone in a PhD program. A PsyD prepares you for careers in clinics, community settings, private practice, etc. Any career that is going to, be full-time clinical work. PsyDs do require a tuition, and that is, important to keep in mind when you think about financial feasibility and an important difference between the two programs. So overall, both degrees can lead to being a licensed psychologist. Both are doctorates. Both require supervised clinical hours, the same amount for both, and they both require the same licensing exams. It mainly comes down to the type of work you want to do and the path you want to take to get there. Neither is better, and it's just about the fit, and hopefully that clears some things up. Good luck!